After finally getting this game for my 24th birthday, and I've done virtually everything there is to do in this game, especially getting the platinum, I am finally ready to review WWE 2K22. I got the PS4 version, and this is my custom-made cover. Now let's get the mixed stuff out of the way. Reversals in this game sometimes straight up don't work at all. Like when there should be the reversal icon, it doesn't show up. And, oftentimes I find myself just pressing triangle desperately and it just doesn't happen. They need to fix that, man. Like even like if your character is stunned, like the minus yellow thing from previous games, it still just doesn't work, man. And MyFaction, I know we'll talk about MyFaction much later in this, but I know for some reason you have to be connected online for some reason for it to load, or to play MyFaction, but it seriously takes 1,000 years to load up. And not only that, but Proving Grounds is so hard, man, and it's a very good way to make you want to destroy your controller. Like, it's like 3 times as hard as ending Undertaker's streak was in WWE 2K14. I'm not even joking. But that's really the mixed stuff I have out of the way. Exhibition/gameplay. Playing for the first time took me off guard, if I'm being honest. My first match in this game was Brock Lesnar versus Walter. And I hated the controls at first. I had no clue what I was doing, but eventually I learned and got how the controls work, and now I've mastered it, and I love them. Funny enough, the controls were actually a big part as to why I wasn't really feeling this game initially, and had it collecting dust for a couple weeks, but now that I've mastered the controls, I absolutely adore the gameplay. Showcase. I did the showcase mode. Personally, I never really got into showcase mode in general with these games. I much prefer something like Road to WrestleMania from the SmackDown vs. Raw days. I mean, it's like I know all of these moments already in showcase mode, you know what I mean? I mean, it's cool to see them recreated in video game form, but still. I pretty much skimmed through this and got it over with, to be honest. All due respect to Rey Mysterio, absolute legend, and happy for him that he got this and is the cover star, but that's my honest thoughts on showcase mode in general, if I'm being honest. Universe Superstar mode. I imagined this was going to be like some type of Road to WrestleMania thing, but with like any wrestler you chose. And this mode was to me, honestly. I mean, it was kind of fun, but I just did this to get the trophies over with, if I'm being honest. MyGM. I never really got into this mode, if I'm being completely honest, but this is a mode that has been requested to return to these games for years, and they finally brought it back in WWE 2K22. I don't really understand this mode, if I'm being honest, but admittedly I do enjoy watching partsFUNknown's MyGM series, occasionally. Funny stuff. I really just played through this mode to get the trophies over with, and I got all of them in about 4 hours. MyRise. I love this mode. It's a My Career mode where you can play as a male or female superstar individually. I assumed these were going to be modes consisting of one long storyline for each of them, kind of like how WWE 2K20's was. But MyRise actually gives you tons and tons of stories, like a cartoon show. Like you'd watch each episode of a cartoon and they won't be connected. Each interaction in this mode outside the ring you do, whether it be via social media, DMs, or simply talking to another person, will have a new episodic type storyline begin. It's tons of fun and I absolutely adore it. And time doesn't seem to exist in this mode. Like you would win a championship and when you return to the main hub thing, you're suddenly no longer champion. And all of a sudden on Twitter you got Samoa Joe talking about defending the championship, which he just won. It was confusing as heck, but I like this bit at the same time because there are storyline specific ones like to get like WrestleMania, for example, and it's nice not having to wait a whole year each time, if that makes sense. I love MyRise, and the best part of this is even after you've gotten all the trophies for MyRise, there are tons of storylines you have left over to discover. Heck, I do. And I don't know if I'll come back to this mode anytime soon, but that's seriously awesome and blessed to know I have tons more content to get back to. And you actually don't unlock stuff from this mode via Accelerator, or whatever this equivalent is called. I love that. Because when I played WWE 2K20's My Career and saw that I had unlocked rewards and stuff, but I already had those rewards because of Accelerator, it didn't feel good at all. You know, to say, oh, these are your rewards, even though I already got them because of Accelerator. But here, I had to actually earn all the rewards by actually playing. And it was amazing to actually unlock them after that. Although it sucks you can't put your MyRise characters in exhibition, because I'm so proud of my female MyRise character, if I'm being honest.
Unless you want to end up like your disciples, you're gonna sign the contract now. See? That was fun. I'll see you at WrestleMania.
Hey, help! You're just gonna leave me like this? Seriously! Come on! Somebody! Anybody, help me! You can't just leave me here!
Now for the DLC. I know people in general are mixed about DLC, but honestly, WWE 2K22 has the best DLC I've ever seen. There are so many amazing characters in DLC and I personally love the non-wrestler ones, like Logan Paul, Machine Gun Kelly, Mr. T, Ilya Dragunov, Rob Van Dam. There's so many amazing DLC characters. The Undertaker stuff, the NWO stuff, it's incredible. I absolutely love it. I don't know what more to say. I even did a ranking of all the DLC characters for this. You know, well, all the season pass characters, that is. And, one last thing. Sadly, because of that Amber Turd challenging bitch, whose name I'm not gonna say, I have to use a created wrestler of Nash Carter instead of the real thing. MyFaction. I was always going to save this for last. This mode has been crapped on by tons of people, and I get why, but I personally love it. Now, MyFaction, without question, will absolutely take up most of the time if you're trophy hunting and by an absolute long shot. Granted, I was definitely getting tired of it once I was right about to finish these lifetime goals. But man, I'm pretty sure I clicked on this mode like by accident. I didn't even care about like trying out this mode at first, but by chance I clicked on it by accident and I ended up deciding to just play it, and I'm so glad I did. Cause I love MyFaction. I hope they bring it back 2K23, and yeah. In conclusion, this is a game packed with so much great stuff. I actually feel like I was playing an actual game instead of this game just being used so I can create footage for my WWE 2K series. But the gameplay, once you get the controls used, is amazing. This has the best DLC for any wrestling game to date. And yes, there's some stuff that I personally don't care for, like Showcase Mode, MyGM and Universe Superstar Mode. But like I said, this is a pretty much massive wrestling game that they worked and focused on, and they even skipped out on doing a WWE 2K21 just to focus on this. And even with all the amazing stuff about this game, I think it's safe to say that WWE 2K23 will improve on this. But overall, I adore WWE 2K22, and it might honestly be my favorite wrestling game now. The controls are fantastic. MyFaction is a grind, but still an awesome, satisfying, and honestly underrated mode. MyRise is a blast. Probably the best thing about this game, MyRise, besides actually playing the exhibition, of course. The roster especially and including DLC, is amazing. The soundtrack is cool, and overall, I love this game to death. My score, 10 out of 10. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed my review. Peace out, y'all.